Hey guys, it's Virginia, and today we're going to be testing out these watercolor pencils. So that should be pretty exciting. As a disclaimer, I have used these a few times, but I wasn't too impressed with the work I did. I feel like I didn't blend well enough. But I think these are pretty fun, and comment if you want me to do watercolor pencils versus watercolors in the next video. Anyways, I'm going to be using the brush that the set came with. It's pretty nice because if you squeeze it, it sucks in water, so that way you don't have to keep dipping. And this is not sponsored, by the way, let me just add. I just think that if you're thinking on buying watercolor pencils, or if you're like me and you just like satisfaction, you get a satisfaction in watching like people do art, then you should enjoy this video, hopefully. So, this set retails for $19.99 on Amazon, and it comes with a range of 72 colors. So, like I said before, it does come with a brush tip pen, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the brand. Hopefully you can read that. I'm going to be doing a painting of this character, Andoro Fuji. She's just from a manga I did. Usually, when I do the characters, I do them on some animation software on my iPad, but since this is just a drawing that I'm going to be hanging up in my room, I feel like, what better thing to paint? It is shaded, so I don't know if that'll affect how the color turns out, but I'm pretty excited, so let's go. So these are the starter colors I'm using. They're kind of neutral skin tone type colors. Alright, looks like I'm getting started with the base. Part of what I like so much about this character is she's a person of color, and I feel like there needs to be more of that in anime. Another thing I like about her is she has a plus type body, and in a lot of anime I've seen, they're really petite and stuff, so I think it's cool that she brings more diversity to everything I've been doing, and I really love her. She's just such a badass, and I hope that I did justice to this character I made. I'm really attached to her. So, one thing I ran into was I think I put too much pigment down, because I noticed that there was just like a little splotch of like darkness that I didn't really know what to do with. I tried to move it to a shadowy area, and I think that worked out pretty well. But all things considered, I love these pencils. They're just so easy to use. Like, I don't know. I mean, watercolors are okay, but I feel like it's easier when you have a pencil. It just makes life so much better. One thing I'm a little bit sad about is the pigment does dry lighter, although I think it does with all paints. So I think beforehand I would recommend picking darker shades, because it will dry lighter, believe me. All things considered, too, I thought shading it beforehand actually worked out pretty well, because you still get some of the dimension. The camera obviously isn't doing justice, but I thought that in person, if you look at it, where I had already shaded, you can really tell, and it just looks fabulous in real life, but I feel like the camera doesn't do it justice. Also, if you're wondering why she has these awful rectangles on her cheeks, I was kind of inspired by this one anime series I watch. I think it's called like Tishers Children or something like that. It's free on YouTube and it's really good, but I love kind of the cartoony cheek feels, like she's blushing, and they kind of do that on there, which I was a little bit inspired by when I made her. Um, I like kind of realism in my anime, but I think that I love to add some of the cool uniqueness on what makes anime sometimes, and I think those cheeks were just really cute. I kind of cheat a little and use a Sharpie when I color them and not the watercolored pencils, so please don't judge, but I feel like it gives it a more cartoony effect where the watercolor pencils are great for like a realistic look, but since they blend so well. Please comment down below any artsy type videos you want me to do, because I would love just some input on what I could do better or what you guys would like to see. By you guys, I mean like my 2 subscribers. We'll work on that though. Oh, one thing I did different was I got a towel to kind of, when I felt like I was too wet in some areas, I got a towel and kind of dabbed it. And I thought that worked out pretty nice. The pigment was still nice and it didn't spread or anything, so that was good. But I would recommend this if you're a little impatient like me and you're anxious to do the second layer. Alright, let's take a moment to appreciate this cutie on my bed. I just had to stop what I was doing. This is my new kitten, Paulo. Yeah, she's about 3 months old. She is just a cutie, but anyways, sorry for the interruption. So, now my character, isn't really that feminine, so, but I still did makeup because she just, I feel like that's part of anime is like the really dark eyes. All things considered, I think it turned out pretty well. What do you think? I guess she doesn't really have an opinion. But I think it turned out well for the most part. I hung it next to the original, the first thing I did with watercolor pencils, and I have to say the first thing does look a little bit better, but I think that's because I spent more time on it, and I looked up a reference image from the internet that isn't even my own drawing. So that's sad, but I think it was I think it still looks good enough to hang up, and she's playing with the iPad. Aren't you, sweetie? She left. But anyway, so I'm pretty proud of my work. All things considered, you know, you just get better with time, and I feel like the watercolor pencils are definitely worth getting if you are totally into blending and stuff, and I feel like they're easier to work than an original watercolor set.